Love, love, until I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello and welcome to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guest is Father Eugene Ashkar, and we'll be discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message from the 25th of November 2018. Welcome to the program, Father.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It's always great having you on the show. So I'll start reading Our Lady's message on the 25th of November, and then we can talk about it.
All right. Yeah,
Get your spiritual perspective. Our Lady said to everyone in the world on November the 25th, 2018, "Dear children, this is a time of grace and prayer, a time of waiting and giving. God is giving Himself to you, that we may love Him above everything. Therefore, little children, open your hearts and families, so that this waiting may become prayer and love, and especially giving. I am with you, little children, and encourage you not to give up from what is good, because the fruits are seen and heard of afar. That is why the enemy is angry and uses everything to lead you away from prayer. Thank you for having responded to my call." So there we have it. It's a beautiful message. We'll start with sentence by sentence.
All right, yes.
So see, Our Lady said, "Dear children, this is a time of grace and prayer, a time of waiting and giving." Sounds like she's trying to teach us some sort of patience as well. I love that line, time of waiting and giving.
Yeah, I just read through it, and when I first looked at it, I thought, well, the whole thing's a bit of a short message, and I thought, oh, what am I going to? But then reading back through it, and things, I thought, sometimes there's no waste in words, and within that one sentence is that reference to time. I thought that is a gift that we've been given. That once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
In this passage of passage of time. So time stood out for me on this thing.
This is a time.
We have this time, and we can waste it, or we can use it for our own betterment, for the responding to the grace of God. And I think this is, and what do we do? And that's where they say this is a time for these things, for love, for grace.
This is a time of grace and prayer,
and prayer.
time of waiting and giving.
What is the most precious thing I think that we can give back to God is time, because it is such a finite thing. This is where, as a priest, you get frustrated sometimes. You're looking down on the congregation and you think, on a Sunday, people can't even give God 1 hour. This one piece of time out of, is that 164 hours? Is that right? 24/7, 148 hours. 148 hours in the week, and they can't give God one. And you think, He gives you all of that, and I think this is where this time of grace. If we could see how many graces we could get just by every minute that we give,
That's beautiful.
in prayer to God, and through the power of Our Lady's intercession, is really something.
That's beautiful. It's sad. It's sad when you say that, but maybe it's because people have lost their understanding some way. Like they just, I don't know what it is.
Well, I tend to look at it as that the world, they say, the enemy, when we come to say,
At the end,
keeps everybody so busy that now they sort of say, I haven't got time for this, I haven't got time for that. I'm just kept busy. If I don't use this time for this, I'll never get it done. And what they don't realise, of course, is the Lord of time is God.
Oh my gosh,
right?
that's so beautiful.
And in giving him time, he can make us far more efficient, think more clearly, be able to do these things, and achieve so much more
Yeah.
in so little time.
I love that. The God is the God of time. That's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I never ever thought of it that way. No, I'm sure a lot of people haven't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to articulate it, to give your time to God, because He is the God of time.
Yeah, well, I stole that. That's Robert Hugh Benson. That's the
Doesn't
Lord
matter,
of
it's
Time.
still
So
beautiful,
yes,
yeah.
it is. And
Yeah.
I know this we're reading, spending a little bit of time doing spiritual reading and these sorts of different things, all add up
Yeah.
to feeding the mind and the heart and motivating us for prayer.
Exactly. It's so beautiful. And Our Lady said, God is giving Himself to you that we may love Him above everything. And sometimes you get bogged down with everything that's going around you, and you get hurt about this and that, or things aren't working out, life gets difficult. But then you think, all He wants us is to love Him above all of that mess that's going on or difficulties that are going on. He wants us to rise and just love Him above it all.
Well, that's right.
Beautiful.
It's an order of priorities, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, he's not saying, we don't want you to love each other.
Yeah, no.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't
keep
want
working at
mums to
that.
love their kids. We don't want the kids to love their mums. We don't want siblings not to love each other.
Yeah.
But we're just saying, number one is
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
because He's the one that gave us everything.
Yeah.
He gave us our parents. He gave us our siblings. He gave us our children. It's all these wonderful gifts that, hey, well, if He's going to be so generous, maybe I should really love Him
Above it all.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, really beautiful. You should be speaking daily on TV to people, I think. And then, we'll have to get ready for a break soon, so I might just leave it at that. But are you doing something for Christmas, just quickly before we go to break?
Well, after I say my Christmas masses, because I've got all the different ones there, after the last mass, I'm going to go back to bed for a while.
Oh, good on you.
Catch up on some sleep
Have a
after the
good
midnight
sleep.
mass and everything else like that.
Lovely. Well, you've been watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We're about to go to a break now.
Blow till I hear but breath of the Spirit blowing in me. Blow, blow till I hear but breath of the Spirit blowing in me.
Hello, I'm Mirella Rich and welcome back to Spirit of Life. We're here with Father Eugene Ashkar and we're discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message from November the 25th, 2018. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you.
And we'll continue with the message Our Lady said. Our Lady said on the 25th of November 2018, she continued to say, "Therefore, little children, open your hearts and families so that this waiting may become prayer and love and especially giving." So basically she's like saying, use your time for prayer, love and giving. Well, that would be the best way to use your time instead of all the other things everyone's getting preoccupied about.
Yes, yeah. And it's to understand the prayer, right? And that is the raising of the mind and the heart to God. So it's being attentive to God and being aware that you're in His presence. It's a bit like that piece, there's a little child, all right, is happy just doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they know the parent is present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that they take that security from being present with the parent.
Yeah.
And every now and again because they know the parent's there, they'll turn and they'll say, "Oh, Mummy, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this," or Daddy, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that because they're always attentive to the fact that the parent is present.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of prayer. I think people think you've got to set aside a certain amount of time for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, you do have to set aside time for actual, more like the formal prayers, but prayer is more than just the list of words and, Lord, I want this and I'm sorry for that and whatever have you. But it's that awareness of the presence of God that He's watching over you, that He's there as the company.
Like thinking about it even now, like He's here in this room, to be aware that He's here right now.
Yes, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, and that's why we're trying to discuss something in the light of the knowledge that we want people to have an encounter with Christ, and therefore that we are a channel of what he wants them to hear.
And what's some advice you could give perhaps to people who really do want to build this relationship with God and feel his presence, but they don't know where to start?
The first thing, I suppose, is that you don't have to feel the presence, right? If you give to God your time, if you give to that prayer, even if you don't have any sensation and you say, God is with me, right? He's here. I may not see him, I may not hear him, I may not experience him, but he is here. And I trust that he is watching over me. This then helps follow on, because it's a decision. It's an act of the will to put God first. If we relied upon, Lord, if you're there, give me this warm, fuzzy feeling, then are we praying to him because he's God, or are we praying to him because we want something? We want a feeling, we want a sensation. So the start of it is taking that first step. There are people who, for example, who don't believe in God. And so what do we say to them? Well, say, God, if you exist, let me know. Right. Now, that's taking that step of, if you're there, let me know. And this is the same sort of thing. If I can grow in my relationship with you, start it for me. Right?
And that's okay to say that.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
And you can say, let me know. Let me bring to my mind when you are actually doing something for me.
Yeah.
When there's that touch. I mean, I haven't been aware of you for a while, so make the touch a good shove. So
you make it really obvious.
That's right. Make it obvious.
Yeah.
Bring to my mind, and then it could be something as simple as, I've been waiting, or something is another example. Oh, I haven't heard from so and so for so long, and then the phone rings.
Yeah.
Right, and lo and behold, who is it? It's that person.
Yeah.
Now this isn't psychic linking or anything else
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
This is God knows us so well that he says to the other person, hey, you haven't called so and so for a while. What's happening with them?
Yeah.
So they get on the phone and they start ringing.
Yeah.
Right, and then you come up with this thought. Well, I haven't heard them for ages, and then the phone rings.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Yeah.
There are different things. The Lord has his way that catches our attention.
Yeah, he'll do.
And all we have to do
something.
is ask him to do it.
I remember once when I was going through that years ago, and I was walking along High Street. I think it was High Street in Kew, and there's a tram. I think it's High Street. Anyway, I was just walking. There was no tram stop or anything, and I just was searching, and I said to God, if you really exist, stop the tram now. And I won't look at the tram. I won't wave the tram down or anything. I will just be, keep walking and not look like I'm even interested in getting on the tram. So I kept doing that. I said, if you really exist, stop the tram now. And the tram literally stopped, and I freaked out. And I thought, wow.
Yeah, be careful what you ask, because it will get answered.
And it was beautiful though. It was really like it's a memory that will never leave me. It was quite a few years ago, but it was just one of those things where I really wanted to know if he existed so much for sure, and I got the answer immediately.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. So Our Lady also said, I am with you, little children, and encourage you not to give up from what is good, because the fruits are seen and heard of afar.
Yeah.
Keep going.
When I was reading that, my first thought went to something that I've encountered in different parishes that I've been in, because I have to do my shopping too.
Yeah.
And I go into the shops, at some time, and there's kids there. Oh, hello, Father, and things like that. But someone else came across and go, oh, they're kids from your school, are they? We knew they'd have to be Catholic kids because the way how they behave.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it captures the attention of people. They see, these people don't know. But these people, I would say, these people don't know the faith, but they can sense there is something different about a person who lives their faith.
Yeah.
It's just a change, and even in the family situation, where it was the family you referred to there just before, open our hearts and our families.
Yeah.
So when we open up to the movement of God within our families, within our hearts, it's transformative. People see it.
We'll have to finish this
Yep.
one for a break now, but we'll continue with this.
Yeah, good.
You're watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very shortly.
Lord, till I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me. Lord, till I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello and welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Mirella Rich and we're here with Father Eugene Ashkar and we're discussing Our Lady Queen of Peace's message from November the 25th, 2018. Welcome back to the program, Father.
Thank you.
And we'll continue what we were talking about earlier before the break. I'll just reread the sentence again. Our Lady said, I am with you, little children, and encourage you not to give up from what is good, because the fruits are seen and heard of afar. So when we do good things, when we're doing the will of God, sometimes we might think, oh, this is hard, what's the point, or, negative things.
Yeah.
But we don't know the fruits. We don't know how it's going to affect someone else.
That is
Yeah.
very true. Just not too long ago, was having a discussion with some of the teachers and things like that, and one made an interesting comment, and I turned to her and I said to her, are you Catholic? And she says, oh no. And I said, have you ever thought of being Catholic? And she goes, oh yes, yeah, I really want to. I really want to. And I said, oh, good. She said, I've been wanting to since I've come and started teaching here at this school.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, what's sort of held you back? And she said, well, you can see it in the primary school kids. You can see their faith, you can see their trust and different things like that. And some of the kids, when they get a bit older, it's more important for them to fit in with the peers and the different things like that. And they're just, I don't know whether their faith sticks, But some of these ones, I've got a couple of them that are well into secondary, that are servers.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the teacher has anything to do with them. But you can see that because of their lack of perseverance, they're affecting and delaying this other person who's so drawn because they see how the faith is alive and active in the younger kids and how it's different because from their previous experience of other schools and things like that, they can see these kids are so much different.
Yeah.
And so what's happening with the secondary ones, and that's causing her a little bit of uneasiness.
And are the secondary ones Catholic as well?
Oh, I mean, a number of them. Some are, some aren't.
Oh,
and that's right through the whole school.
Yeah.
But it's this lack of perseverance with the faith. This thing there that like, well, I'm at school. I don't have to do the churchy things. I have to do the churchy things when they take us across to the church for the mass or something else like that. But hey, this is school. I don't have to. But if we let it
separate it, yeah,
that's right. In primary school, because religion is so fits into so many different things and subjects, and it's the sacramental years and things like that. It tends to flow into all of the subjects, and the examples that a lot of primary kids use are related to the faith, where they just don't think it's cool, in secondary to do that. But this would have got this lady to have come to the faith years ago if that had of things there. But she's still drawn by seeing what it's like when it's lived with the kids.
That's beautiful. So, but when the thing that stopped her was when she saw it disappearing in the teenagers.
That's right.
But she loved it when she saw it in the younger children.
She only saw the young ones. And she would like to be able to keep that in her life.
Yeah.
Because she can see how it just gives them this endurance to be able to keep on,
And peace too.
And peace, yeah,
serenity.
you can, and an innocence.
Yeah,
Because if you're following what God asks, you're following what the parents ask, you keep a certain innocence, and it gives you a real strength of character.
Yeah.
And a sense of humour.
It's true, it's true. And it's funny how, like, you do things. Like, I remember I was riding my trike, this motorised trike, because I had my accident, and I was just like pedalling, and I'd pedal it all the way to Channel 31 when we were filming in the city, and I'd be doing it for years, and this guy stopped me on the tram stop, and he said, "Oh, I've been watching you for years. I was struggling with something, and every day I saw you, you made me not give up." And I was thinking, I'm just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And, you just don't know how you affect other people.
That is true.
So, it helped him with something in his life. So I don't know what it was, but... But anyway, the next sentence Our Lady says is, "That is why the enemy is angry and uses everything to lead you away from prayer. Thank you for having responded to my call."
Well, prayer is important because we are being conduits, we're being channels of grace. And in our communication with God, we are bringing grace down not only for ourselves but for others. When a person is baptised, they're baptised priest, prophet and king, and in priest it's the gift of being able to pray for themselves and for others. And the devil doesn't like that. I mean, the enemy doesn't like this. This is where, sort of like, look, if you want to be goody two-shoes, you go off and be goody two-shoes, but don't affect the rest of us who just don't want to be like that. But that's not true, is it? He's a father of lies. We don't all want to be like that.
Yeah.
Because this is what draws people towards our Lord and our Lady, is the fact that they say, "I want what they've got. Look at the peace they've got. They have all these difficulties, and look how they still go. They still persevere with it. They still have this strength. I don't know how I could tolerate this sort of illness or that sort of illness, and yet they just still seem at peace with it. It's just, yes, they suffer, but they've got this inner peace. And of course, He doesn't want them to experience that.
Difficult, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So we've got to keep smiling and persevering. Thank you so much, Father, for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
You've been watching Spirit of Life. I hope you enjoyed the program, and we'll see you again soon.
Bring